Salutations, Johnny Maclock and Matter Plus. Here we are with something a bit different. Something I haven't done for a while. I'm going to do a album review for the new Creeper album, and then I'm going to show my Creeper collection, merch, albums, stuff that I've got. This will be part one. I'm going to do part two of this, which is going to be a live review of Creeper Live in Manchester last week, November 2023. Cheers. So, as you can see up there in the background, what we listen to is this, which is The Damned, A Night of a Thousand Vampires, which is quite apt for the new Creeper album. So, first of all, let's show you the cover of the new album. Oops, I lost it all. That's the cover. Which is absolutely brilliant. It's embossed. I think it's embossed. Is this one embossed? Yeah. Oh, that's weird. This one is actually not embossed. It's apparently this one is embossed. I feel it just there. You can just see the wings. Yeah, that's weird. Huh? Anyway, yes, I got two versions of mine. We also get a cool signed card. Got one in each because I pre-ordered the two copies until they're actually properly signed, because the signatures aren't exactly the same, slightly different. So yeah, one final variant is that one, which I think is very cool. Yeah, it's like pink, white and black. That's more burgundy, white and black. I think that's the Splodge one or something like that it's called. Spot or something. And the other one is like that. That's black and red with. So there we go. Anyway. So as I said, the album's called Sanguivore. I'll do the review first, then I'll talk about Creeper, who they are, and how I first got into them, and show you my shit. So yeah, that's it. This is from the video to Cry for Heaven. Really cool. I love the cover. So this is not the embossed one. Let's have a look. So this is their third full length. They've had quite a few EPs, but this is the third full length. Came out Friday the 13th of October. Creeper are actually one of my current favourite bands. From Southampton. I'm not going to, I'll just go through this. Track one is they did sort of three different kind of phases of the band, and this is the third phase, and as you can see, it's kind of vampire based, which is cool. Track one, Further Than Forever, is essentially their version of Bad Out of Hell. I was lucky enough to meet Will from Creeper, the singer, at a gig in Manchester earlier this year. It was actually went to Possessed, death metal band, and I think Sean was doing the merch, the bass player from Creeper. So Will and his girlfriend Charlotte were there to support him. I grabbed him for a couple of minutes, had a quick photo and had a chat, and told him how I loved the new, what seemed to be, I think they'd only had one or two singles out then, so I hadn't heard this album. But I said I thought it sounded a lot like AFI crossed between Meatloaf and Sisters of Mercy. And he said, well, they're two of my favourite bands, so that makes perfect sense. So, first track, Further Than Forever, is essentially their Bad Out of Hell. It's very Jim Steinman-ish. It's got lots of piano. It's like a 9-minute song, something like that. There's loads of pomp. It's very theatrical. It takes you on a journey. It's up and down. There's lots of breakdowns as such, where the song stops fully and then back in with a different tone. Lots of cool guitar work. Very epic. Fucking brilliant. But, you know, the chorus is still Creeper. Now, the older sound, they were always more of a horror punk band. This sound is more 80s inspired, essentially. As I said, you know, very Sisters of Mercy, Meatloafy sort of thing. So the first track. Second track, Cry for Heaven, was the single. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. It's one of my favourite lines from Further Than Forever. I put it in my notes here, which I'm looking at. Is I'm Jesus in a strip club giving head. Now, they were selling badges at the gig of that, but I didn't buy one. Yeah, Cry for Heaven is essentially, if you look at the video and that, you just think this Corrosion, Sisters of Mercy, and this Corrosion was one of the tracks that Jim Steinman actually produced with the Sisters, so makes perfect sense. The chorus just sounds like Creeper. But the actual verses remind me of Rebel Yell by Billy Idol, which is not a bad thing. Don't sound like them, just remind me of. Nice tempo changes, some nice chunky riffs. It's got that Sisters of Mercy sound. Next up, Sacred Blasphemy. It's got a great solo on it, piano intro, then goes into the proper punky Creeper sound. Reminds me a lot of Shadow of Love by The Damned off Phantasmagoria. Stunning album. It's when they transitioned from being punk rock band into a proper 80s goth band. Excellent stuff. I did mention that when I was talking to Will, and he said that's one of his favourite albums, Phantasmagoria, so it's always cool. So, yeah, where were we? Yeah, Sacred Blasphemy. Yeah, that's one that sounds like Shadow of Love. Next up, last track on this side is the Ballad of Spook and Mercy. Now, to me, this is very Nick Cave sounding. It's Will's almost like a gothic crooner on it. But it reminds me a lot of Nick Cave with Kylie Minogue. What's it called? Where the Wild Roses Grow. It's that kind of sound. It's sort of like an acoustic goth ballad. Really cool. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, excellent stuff. So that's side A. Side B, as you can see, starts off with Lovers Left Astray. Which is some of the from. This is another very sort of punky attitudey type thing. It's got some cool acoustic bits on it. It reminds me a lot of it's that Sisters of Mercy 80s synth sound to it. Really good stuff. Yeah, it's a great guitar solo on it. Reminds me of Sisters of Mercy's third album, Vision thing. Absolutely great stuff when they were more trying to go for more guitar-y sort of sound to them. Excellent shit. Yeah, so we love that. What we got next? Teenage Sacrifice, which has got a proper sing-along chorus, another guitar-y intro. Got some great lyrics in it, which my favourite is burning churches to the ground, making love in the rubble. Classic. Excellent stuff. So yeah, Teenage Sacrifice was another single, if I remember rightly. Chapel Gates is next, which is absolutely brilliant. It's got the intro's almost like Guns N' Roses' Welcome to the Jungle type intro, and then it's the Mrs. Mack thinks that the verse is reminded a bit of Kids in America, Kim Wilde song, and One More Death covered as well. I can see that, I suppose, but it's very sort of anthemic, fist in the air, sounded great live. Next up, we've got The Abyss, which is just like it's instrumentally bits, like some spooky keyboards and that sort of thing, which is cool. Next up, we got Black Heaven, another 80s electronica, very Depeche Mode than Jelani. But when he says Black Heaven, it basically sounds like Black Planet by Sisters of Mercy off my favourite Sisters album, which is First Last and Always. First track, Black Planet. Excellent stuff. Whizzing through this nicely. So, yeah, that's Black Heaven. Excellent, really good guitar. And then we finish off with More Than Death, which is like a piano-y ballad type thing, but not shit. It's really good. Will's voice is really emotional, and it's essentially finishing off like the whole the vampire thing, the tragic gothic love story that goes all the way through it. And More Than Death is basically about saying that you could my favourite line in it is you grow tired of all the violence, obviously because you're the fucking vampire and you're ripping people's necks out and shit. All the scarlet nights unslept. Does anyone love you more than death? And then afterwards it goes, she lays her grief on my lips like a funeral wreath. So, that's what you get in that sort of gothic-y sort of sound. It's just excellent. It's not as cheesy as it could be. And it's just done really well. I fucking love this album. It'll be, my top 3 albums of the year, easily. I've listened to it probably more than any other album. And I've only had it a few weeks. I've probably listened to it, 8, 10, 12 times already. So by the end of the year, it'll be the most listened to album, and it's absolutely brilliant. Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, that's Sanguivore. Now apparently Sanguivore is basically someone that lives off another animal's blood, basically like a vampire bat or something like that. So yeah, there you go. That's that. And that's Moon Creeper. I got it on CD as well, but it's in Mrs. Mack's car. But I also picked up the tour CD, which got a different cover, which is quite cool. I like that. It's the same middle. But yeah, I think the buckler, lyrics and stuff. There's the band. One thing, Wild the Spook of Mercy, I think they should do if they do an EP, because they usually quite often do an EP, if they do an EP after this, I should think they should do a part 2, and should get Hannah, who just does a lot of the female backing vocals, in case she does the odd song. There's one called Crickets off the first album, which is absolutely brilliant, still played live, and it sounds fucking brilliant. Absolutely stunning. Yeah, I think they should do a part 2, and they should have Hannah doing like from the female vampire side of it. So it's almost like the Nick Cave and Kylie Minogue, like a between, what do they call it? When two people sing fucking together. My mind is just well shit. You know what I mean, anyway. One of them, I think they should do it between them. A duet, that's the thing. Yeah, I think Will and Hannah should do a duet and call it part 2. Anyway, right, so that's the new album. Fucking great, buy it. Right. All the musicianship is awesome. Drums are nice and chunky. Nice and punky when it needs to be. Subtle when it needs to be. Bass is thumping. Ian's guitar is just absolutely brilliant. He gets better and better as time goes on, obviously. Right, so let's go on to my stuff, what I own by The Creeper. Okay, let's move these about. Ooh, Gunly Fiendish. Great damn song. By the way, I'm happily listening to this album. I found out that my noise cancelling mic cancels out the fucking music, so you probably can't hear it, but anyway. Right, so stuff by Creeper. Let's go these out of the way. To there. Do vinyl and stuff first. I have got a load of Creeper cassettes, but I can't find all the cassettes. So this is the first EP. It's not an original. They're too expensive and never come up often. So this is the issue that came out a couple of years ago. Came out for Halloween, so it's pumpkin orange. We had a pack blue VCR into the black novella. So before I show you the rest of this stuff, I'll give you a quick history of me and Creeper. Creeper, most of the guys were in a band called Our Time Down Here back in the mid to late 2000s. Then 2014, Creeper were formed. I got to see them live 2016. Me and my mate Daz took our daughters to see Neck Deep, who are their local band. I'm from Wrexham, and they're the Wrexham band. So they wanted to go and see Neck Deep. Neck Deep were playing the Academy in Manchester, 2016. And Creeper were one of the support acts. I think one of them, there was like 3 or 4 of them, and they were like middle of the bill. Never heard of them. Me and mate standing at the bar, casually chatting away because there's generic pop punk on it in the background. And all of a sudden, this band came on, all dressed in fucking leather jackets and long hair, guitars, playing them properly, not jumping about with shorts on and all that sort of thing like the pop punk fuckers. And they just had a little bit of something, so we kind of moved away from the bar and watched Creeper, and I was just blown away. Thought absolutely fucking brilliant. They had a pop punky, not a pop punk sound, but an AFI, early AFI horror punk sound. But they had, even back then, they had that Jim Steinman-y, Meat Loafy sound to them. They're very theatrical on stage and all that sort of thing. Put a lot into it, so it was good stuff. So thought they're absolutely brilliant. At the merch stand, I saw a little flyer saying they were actually playing Wrexham a couple of months after or whatever. So me and Daz went to see him in a little venue that was like 40 people there, upstairs at the Rewind, if you know Wrexham. Not a lot, many people there. Sport Act was on, and Will actually came and stood next to him, mate. And mate said, "What do you think of Wrexham?" He went, "Oh, I think it's all right." He went, "Oh, you're not being here long then." So that was the first sort of time we saw them. Tried to lecture them at the merch stand, or the table that they had set up and that sort of thing as well. I think I was wearing a Bad Religion t-shirt anyway. So yeah, that was then. I think that was just before the third EP came out, which is the first thing I bought them. So if we get to that, try and get some sort of semblance of order. The second EP was just come out before I saw them, which is obviously this, which is Callous Heart. Is it called Callous Heart? Yeah. Callous Heart EP. I didn't buy this when it came out, so I had to pay quite a bit for it. So it's nothing special, but it cost me a few quid. We've got Black Cloud, Honeymoon Suite, Allergies, Lie Awake, and Henley's Ghost. Lie Awake has always been my favourite Creeper song. It's awesome live. Excuse me while I turn the damned over. Let's get the second side on. There we go. Let's get the CD sorted out. So, right. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so second EP, Calisart, brilliant. So when I saw them, Calisart and the Creeper EP were out. So I think maybe a month or so after we saw them for the second time in Exham, The Stranger came out, which I bought straight away. White vinyl. I love this EP. Got Secret Society, Valentine, Black Mass, Misery, and Astral Projection. And if you know anything about Creeper, you know that Misery's kind of become their anthem. Which is the Calisart, which is the Stranger in the background. Yeah, all good stuff. So that was the first three EPs they brought out. They then brought out the first album, first full length, which was Eternity in Your Arms. This is they ordered it, red purple vinyl signed edition. Picked it up on CD as well. So signed today. Black Lane, Poison Pen, Suzanne, Hiding with Boys, Misery again, different version. Down below, Room 309, Crickets, which is the one which kind of sings Darling, Winona Forever, and I Choose to Live. Excellent stuff. They did like a whole thing with The Stranger and all that kind of thing. There was even a book, The Last Days of James Scythe, which kind of all tied in with it. It's almost like a it's sort of like conspiracy type thing, and aliens, a bit like the X-Files and all that kind of thing. It's cool. So yeah, good stuff. The video's kind of tied in with them as well. Okay. Next up, they brought out second album, Sex, Death, and the Infinite Void. This is the purple vinyl version. I got like 3 cassettes. The rest of them I had it on CD, but I gifted my CD to a mate, so probably about it again at some point. But yeah, it's the album. Tracks on here include Hallelujah, Be My End, Born Cold, Cyanide, Celestial Violence, Annabelle, Paradise, Poison Heart, Thorns of Love, 4 years ago, Holy War, Napalm Girls, Crown of Life, Black Moon, and All My Friends. This was like the second phase of the band. You can see the logo's different. They got the Weeping Angel thing, which was like on all the merch and all that sort of thing. They then did an EP that kind of finished off the phase, which was this, which was American Noir. I got the best version, just picture disc on one side and the album on the other. We've got Midnight Militia, Midnight, America at Night, Ghost Over Cavalry, Drowning, Loom, One of Us, Damned or Doomed, and Frozen Night. This and Sex, Death were more Americana based, not as punky, harder punky. But they were just kind of creating a new sound and that, and it was happening around lockdown. So we'll also had a side band, Salem, picked up 2 EPs, which is basically the harder punk stuff again. sounds like the early EPs. It's brilliant. What have we got? William, I Was 30 Something, Track You Lads, Keep the Thorns, Sweet Tooth, Heaven Help Me, Fall Out of Love, Destroy Me, Throw, Eyesore, and Doomed for Each Other. That's all good shit. Some stuff is great. Then also Creeper related, this is Ian Miles, the guitarist. This is his solo album. This is good shit. I like it a lot. Different, but still very cool. Like that. Good stuff, mate. Right. Merch, before this gets too long. So, we have Creeper Beanie, Creeper Baseball Cap, that's the World Fair 67, with the Creeper logo on the back, obviously from the first phase of the band, it all ties in with the World Fair 67, ties in with the mall and all that sort of thing. We've got do long sleeves. We've got one long sleeve shirt, which is that one. I Buried Myself in the Void. It's got Creeper logo down the sleeve. On the back it says Winona Forever. Also picked up a Salem long sleeved, which is just got the skeleton and Salem down the arms, which is nice. Picked up some Creeper joggers, which are cool. We also have some Creeper shades. On the side, as you can see, it says Hiding from Daylight since 2014, and then it's got the. If it's shown, I think it's worn quite a lot. There you go. You see the Creeper logo, can you? Possibly, anyway. If you can, it's fucking there. Yeah. Hoodies. Creeper. What's that? Creeper. Side Coast Misery. Now whiz through the t-shirts. I think they're in some kind of chronological order, but who fucking knows? Probably not. Creeper logo on the front. Stephen King rules on the back, because he does. Next up, I don't know if you can see it, but it's it says Wilton Fade, which is obviously Creeper song. But, this is basically inspired by the Misfits Die Die My Darling, I think it is, with the glass and the skeleton behind it, behind the thing. So, yeah, that's cool. Next, it's with the Creeper on the chest. And I Wanna Die Holding Hands on the back, which is lyrics from Suzanne. Love this one. This is it says Halfway to Hell, and I don't know if you can see, but it's from Beetlejuice. It's the when they were supposed to be in their funeral wedding gowns, obviously while they were ghosts, so that's cool. Next up, got this one, which is, I think it's based on like a book or a comic book or something. There's all the different members of the band, which is quite cool. I should have looked up what it was, but obviously there's the stranger holding an umbrella with all his kids. Obviously this I pre-ordered with the second album, Sex, Death and Infinite Void, with the Weeping Angel on the back. And I got this from one of the recent tours. So it's one of my favourite t-shirts. I just love it. It's very cool and gothic and almost black metal-y. It's great with the church and the skeleton. And